Well, welcome to the Get Healthy Roundtable, where we discuss protocols, products, and ingredients, plus best practices for e-com. And today you're in for an extremely special treat because the marketing team is here. So I get to go back, shut my camera off, and be quiet and allow our VP of Marketing, Dara, and our Director of Marketing, Courtney Bell, to take over this entire roundtable. So ladies, welcome. We're so excited to learn what you have to say to help us market better, because as we know, we didn't get into this to market, so we're going to need your help. So I'm going to go silence myself and let you take it away.
Awesome. Hey everyone, I'm Dara. I'm the VP of Marketing at Get Healthy. So today we're going to go over two things. One is the fall planning promotion guide that we created. We won't go through the entire thing because we'll send it to you afterwards. And then we're going to go through our marketing workbook. Courtney's going to handle that and show you how to make updates to your stores page, create promotions on all those fun things. So let me get started with our guide. Okay, so we created a fall promotions planning guide for you. Hopefully this will make things easier as we loop into the holiday season. So to get started, really the kind of main things you need to think about for your fall promotions is your checklist that we have here. So really, what do you want to achieve this fall? Obviously, we all want to make more money, but how are you going to do that? Is it through certain campaigns? Is it an email list? Is it paid advertising on social media? Is it getting people in the door to your practice to come and see you first? So thinking through those kind of goals first is the best way to get set up. And then you can pick different themes. We've given you a few ideas that I'll go through in this workbook, but also, use these to maybe pick your own, or something resonates with you. That's obviously, if you have a specialty, you're going to want to lean into that. And then you can pick themes and ideas that go along with that, and then products and protocols to go along with it. And then, like I said, Courtney's going to go through how to set up promotions, set up bundles, things like that. If you want to do a discount, we have all of that available in the Get Healthy software. So we'll go through how to do that. And then we have visuals set up for you guys that will show you how to edit. They come pre-made, but they're in Canva. They're totally editable. So if you want to change any of your themes and make them bespoke to yourself, that's super easy to do. And then obviously you want to schedule everything. So maybe you're using an email platform. You can schedule emails if you're using an email list, or if you have social media, there's a lot of schedulers out there. Of course, ask us any questions if you have anything about those things. All right, so just to go kind of through some themes, and I'll just kind of slide through these because there's a lot of them. So September, we had the idea of doing metabolic health. It's getting into that holiday season where it's full of pies and treats and those kind of things. So we have in the first page, you'll see for any of these months, there's all of your graphics. You can edit them in Canva, which we'll go over later. But we suggest, using these as a basis, and then you have all of your different ideas here. I won't read them to you because we will send this out afterwards. But we do suggest that, if you're tight on time, or if you don't have a team, because how many people actually do have a team, ChatGPT can be really helpful if you want to write content. And then we try to make it easier here as well. So we do have links to certain products and brands that could go along with these different themes. So we kind of packaged it together. Obviously, if you have brands that you like or something else that kind of aligns with this, feel free to use those. But we made this super easy. So you can scan through here and see there's webinar series, there's workshops that we could suggest you host, back to school wellness packages. You could do special offers like a buy two, get one free on certain supplements. So a ton of different ideas in here for September. If it's these might be last minute for you, but we wanted to throw some things out there as well. But we're thinking, if you want to get ahead, we definitely suggest, if you can start planning now for October through December, life will be much easier. That's what we're aiming to do as well. So October, offset sugar season, right? Halloween is coming up, and then it just gets into all of the sugars that we all, well, at least I personally love to eat. I know we shouldn't, but they're all sorts of yummy treats coming up. So we have an offset sugar season with, again, graphics for you guys and a bunch of different ideas. So fall wellness reset could be a good one, immune health focus, and it really depends on your audience, right? And what your target is. Like I said, do you want people to come into your practice first and then you're going to script them things? Or do you want to sell things in your store and create bundles? As you guys know, we obviously have a lot of lifestyle products as well that go along with our supplements. So you could put together really fun bundles. We've got all these different themes for October, so I'll let you guys read through those as you want. We gave you a ton of different ideas. And like I said, if there's something that aligns with you, like a fall harvest nutrition that's not about sugar, then sub in whatever products and protocols that make sense for you. But this is a good basis to work off of. Then November. Okay, so Black Friday, Cyber Monday, always a big one. Everyone's online shopping, everyone's sitting in traffic and at the airport. This is a great time to be doing promotions. Also, a great time to get people thinking about their health for the new year as well. So whatever you decide to do for November, definitely suggest something around that time. And again, we've given you a bunch of different editable templates that are, about sales. And like I said, Courtney's going to go through how to set up some of those discounts and things. And then, yep, a ton of ideas in here that you could do. Again, we think bundles are really great. This could be a fun place to sell some lifestyle products that you may not usually be selling. Great for gifts for the holidays coming up. So that could be something fun. Like we have some red light therapy products, which are, very in right now. So lots of fun things. And then just scrolling down to December. So, everyone gets stressed over the holidays. Well, maybe not everybody, but a lot of people do. And we have an idea of stressing less over the holidays. So again, graphics here, and then a ton of different ideas that you guys can use. So hopefully, we'll send this out afterwards, like I said. And then of course, ping us if you have questions during the roundtable. Feel free to put any comments in there and we'll answer them. But we have a whole comprehensive guide. So hopefully this helps you in your fall planning. And then Courtney, do you want to go over editing the graphics? Perfect. Oh, you're muted.
Okay, can you hear me now? All right. So as Kat was saying, that was a great overview. Thank you. I'm gonna kind of jump back into that guide here. Let's see. It disappeared on me, but I will find it. Okay. Oops. So let's go into the guide. I'm going to present it here in kind of a different way. So going back to what Kat said, I'm going to just start on this page because you can curate your bundles in our bundle form. So setting up a campaign should be fairly easy. And I know there are a few people on here who have done this before, but if you haven't, you want to clarify your goals, like Kat said. You want to choose a theme. So look through this, select your promotion. What would you like to do? What, based on your goals, kind of match those together. And then curate your products or bundles. So there's a bundle form here. It's super easy to fill out. You just give us your information here. You select if you want it to be a fixed or a flex bundle. If you have more questions about that, we can definitely provide that for you. But you can see here, there's some visuals as well about what those are. And kind of just give us the information about what bundle you want to create. So say you have like the sugar theme, offsetting sugar season, you could have like, our favorite healthy snacks bundle or something like that, a healthy snacks bundle. You could put that here, type that in, healthy snacks, right? And just include the products that you want. And like Kat said, we kind of outlined a lot of ideas for you. So you don't have to start from scratch. You can just click and add them to your store. We've given you lots of supplementary materials. So, so then you can select the layout. If you want to add some more information about that bundle, then you can do that. kind of beef up the page, if you will. You can add some like marketing banners. You can add some text, and it can kind of act as sort of a sales page for you if you'd like. So those are some options for building your bundle. And then if you are going to do one of these promotions, again, you kind of look through this, and maybe you want to offer a sale on that, offsetting sugar season bundle, then you can go ahead and build a coupon code. So this step says determine your discount. You can just go to our coupon code form, and there's a lot of information up here about it, just telling you basically what options you have for coupons. But if you go down, you can select the kind of coupon that you want to create. You could do a buy one, get one free. If you have private labels, you can just do a coupon code, which is super easy to set up. If you haven't done this before, I might start there just because it's very easy. And again, just review, if you're doing certain products, there are some restrictions that we put on so that it doesn't eat into your profit. But you can activate it on a certain date and then have it self-expire, which I would recommend, creating some urgency for people. So definitely, make it like a month long, or, don't make it too long, or else, people might not think, they might think, I can do that later, right? List the brand names, product names, and then, if there's anything special that you'd like to do there, but you have the option to do multiple codes. Maybe just start with one if you haven't done this before, and you just kind of want to hop in and do this. Or like Kat said, we have those September campaigns here, just in case you are doing something last minute. You can kind of just really easily build that bundle, build that code, and then you want to prepare your visuals. So we can hop into this link here, which actually takes you to Canva. Everyone can still see my screen, right? Okay, awesome. So this provides some information about how to use this. So you are going to click on this tab. You're going to click on whichever type of graphic that you want. So if you want a graphic for web, means your marketing homepage. So if you want a graphic for your marketing homepage so that everything kind of matches when you send out social media or emails and everything kind of flows together, we definitely recommend using all three of these. But if you don't communicate through social or, email, maybe just choose one, whichever one's more appropriate for you, of course. So you can click into, so say I want to edit this web graphic, I can go in and I can use template for a new design. You actually won't have that option to edit. That's just me. So you'll definitely just have one option there. So don't worry about that. But you can go in and basically make this, like Kat said, bespoke to your practice. So you can put your logo in here. You can, upload it as a file. You can edit the text. You can, change out, you can swap out anything. This is completely your, in your control. So you can do kind of whatever you want here. And then once you're done doing that, you can hit share, and you have some download options. You want to put it as a PNG or a JPEG, it'll download, and then you'll want to go into your homepage on your store. So if I go into our demo store here, you'll see that there is a homepage editor, and I can go in here and edit my slider, which is what this is for, this graphic that we provide. And I can browse that image and drop it in, right? And then once I'm done, I can go ahead and test that. So if I go to my store, it'll show up in the slider, right? So we do have some like more in-depth tutorials about this if you need them. And that is in our marketing guide, which I'm going to go ahead and pop over to that. So any questions about how to use the fall guide and maybe get started with the campaign before I move on to our marketing guide.
We
Yeah,
have
can
a
I ask
question.
a
Oh,
question?
sorry. Go ahead, Vanessa. I was going to say your question. Please go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was gonna ask if the size of this, so this like slider size, is that the same size as the image for like the page of the bundle itself? Can you use the same one, or do you have to create different sizes?
Good question. You can use this one for the slider. It will render nicely. If you'd like to use that, you have a lot of freedom there, but I would definitely recommend it's definitely a good size if you don't want to recreate anything. So,
'Cause I might like create two, like one that like matches it, and then so it will be the same one, and then another one that has like, because you know how some have like the actual like bottles of the products that show like what you're actually selling.
right.
So I just was wondering if like the sizes are similar, like all of that is pretty much on the bundle page when you're like trying to submit the bundle images and stuff, right?
Yeah, so it's going to give you an option to upload, I would definitely, if I go back to that form, there is an option to list any descriptions. Like I would put maybe like drop a drive link in here for those
Oh,
images.
okay.
Yep.
Because
if
it
you
only
have
lets you
multiple,
put one, right?
right.
Okay.
So if you want multiple, like give us a little description, what you're looking for, and then, drop that drive link in there. So we know where to find those.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Courtney, is that for flex bundles or true bundles?
Either one. You can drop some images into the flex bundle or the fixed bundle.
Okay.
The next question is how to keep Canva organized. Oh my God, I have so many images now.
I know, and they do have folder options, so you can create
Oh,
folders
really?
and stuff. Yeah,
Oh, I'm
so
gonna have that.
definitely recommend that,
It's
especially if
getting
you're.
really wild at this point.
I feel you.
Thank you.
Of course. All right. So there are no more questions. I'm going to hop over to our workbook. So we have created this marketing workbook guide, and everyone can see this, right? Okay, perfect. So basically, this is going to have an outline of different features that we have that are specific to marketing. So this is a long list. This is just your table of contents, and we're going to send this out, like Kat said. But we'll just highlight a few kind of things about this today. But as you can see, if you ever have a doubt about, and if you've ever seen like our feature list, this kind of gives you some ideas of, certain features we have to offer, categories, adding and managing products, like merchandising, downloadable digital products, and I'll show you kind of what that, what the meat of this looks like. So if I wanted to go down to the first section, which we're going to kind of focus in on today, it's that customer experience. And down below, you see that there's just more detail about what these features are and how you can implement them, right? So this first one that I want to focus on is creating your own marketing homepage, which we kind of just went into, but I do want to show you a few examples to help you maybe get some inspiration if you'd like. So I'm going to pause this for a minute and hop over to some nice examples that we have. All right, so this is a wellness practice, and they just have a really nice homepage. So what I want to show you is that they really made this their own. You have some options on the homepage builder. You can put some text up above here. You can, really make it your own. What this practice chose to do is just use the slider. You could have call outs above here, but this practice chose not to do that, which is completely fine. And there's some, flexibility with with the call outs on the bottom as well. So they chose to do 3 call outs. You can do up to, I would say 4 without it getting too squished. But, you can kind of see they chose to do squares, you can do rectangles, you can kind of make this whatever you want. Like they have some information about how to become a patient, right? Like just kind of some standard information that they might want people to know, and it might match back to their main website as well. So those kind of go together. So if I go to let's see if they have, yes, they do. So like you can see the branding matches, and they have their shop here, it's linked. So then that kind of flow goes back and forth, right? Really nice example, branding matches. So then we have another example. This is actually one of our demo stores. So you can see here, this is a little bit different. We have the women and children category up here. This is kind of like, specific to maybe a practice that deals with that demographic, right? And then the slider has a little promotion, but the first slider is just kind of like, look at our immune essential products. So they can click there and get into a specific category or bundle. And then you can see here we have 4 call outs. So again, you have a lot of flexibility here in what you can do. And then we also have best-selling products. So this is a carousel that you can activate based on products in your store. And again, we have instructions about how to do that in this guide. And then the bottom is the bundle bar. And again, you can choose to kind of make this your own. You can take out, this writing here, you can leave it in, you can leave in these sections. Lots of fun things you can do to make this your own and branded. And the last one I will show is Tracy's. She does a really good job at making sure this is up to date. And then having her, kind of built in, let's work together, make an appointment with me, which I really like. And then signing up for her newsletter is really important to have on there. And I really like how this is bigger and you can really see it. It stands out on the page. And then she has her sliders, or excuse me, her carousels. Another thing that we have in our guide is courses. So you can build, we'll give you instructions about how you can build courses, but we just wanted to make sure and highlight that you can build your course within your store. So again, I'm using Tracy as an example. This is one of her programs that she builds. So one thing you can do is integrate with Thinkific. You can also build, if you're using another system, it's not going to integrate, but what we'll do is we'll build a product on your store. It'll look kind of like this, like a product page. And then it will send a notification to you to fulfill that course. And you can do that, if you have courses in another, say you're not using Thinkific, you can do that as well.
I just want to jump in on that real quick, Courtney, just so
Yeah.
they understand what integrate means. So if you have the full integration with Thinkific, which we do, you have to have a growth account, but you can start at any size account and grow into understanding how to utilize the learning management software, building courses, etc. Once you get to a level where you're selling a lot of courses and then you want to bundle them with products, say I want to sell this metabolic mastery course with maybe 2 or 3 supplements, that's when the integration with Thinkific becomes super valuable. So you can automate the enrollment, which means when they click add to cart and they buy this course through my store, it talks to my learning management software, Thinkific, and automatically sends a notification to my client saying, here's your course, click to start. And they click and they're enrolled into the software that houses the course. So that's what integration means. If you just build a product page, let's say you have Kajabi or Teachable or another platform that you use, you can still build a product page. But what would happen is if they bought it, I would get the notification. It would say, Sarah Smith bought your course. Then I would have to take Sarah Smith and her email, go to my learning management system, enroll them in that course. So it would be a manual process. So I just wanted to make sure both are fine and they both work. If you're a big content creator and you have a lot of people enrolling into a course, probably the integration would be beneficial. If you're just starting out and you want to be able to bundle a course with a product solution through your store, you can still build a product page. The brands will get notified, or our warehouse will get notified to ship the product, but you'll get notified to enroll the student into the course. Both work, both are great. To the consumer, it's one click, one experience. It works really nice. On the back end, there might be a few manual steps, but that's okay too. So I just wanted to touch on that.
Yeah, thank you. That is perfect. Any questions about that before we move on? Okay. Another kind of feature that I want to highlight here are the upsells and cross-sell options, specifically our post-purchase option and our order bump option. So again, we will provide and in this guide, you'll see kind of what I'm about to pull up here, which is our knowledge base, but it has a nice picture of an example of a post-purchase upsell. So say your clients go through the purchase process, they've already gone through checkout, right? You can put a banner on the checkout page that basically kind of upsells them on a product or a service, whatever you'd like. So you can use this to your advantage. Someone even used it as a get 10% off your next order, and they just dropped a coupon code in there. So that's a great use for it too, especially as we talk about fall promotions. I think that would be a really engaging thing for people to come back to your store, right? Like, this is a really good time to start your promotions. And even if you've never done this before, it's always a really nice time to start promoting, getting into this, learning how to do it. And then to help your clients have incentive to come back, right? So that post-purchase is really good for that, but also just, adding to the cart value in a way. Even though they've already checked out, they are adding to your average order value. So they are purchasing something else, make it something, maybe a lower priced item, or just something kind of irresistible, right? That they're like, oh, it's like when you're at the checkout at the store, right? That last minute thing, or maybe you already purchased and you're like, oh, I needed this too, I've got to go back. So the order bump, I'm gonna scroll down to that. We have the option to drop an order bump actually when they're still in the checkout experience. So post-purchase, kind of what it sounds like, right after they purchase, and the order bump is, when they're in the checkout process itself. So another opportunity for you to increase average order value through the order bump. And this is just an example here of, as you can see, this is a checkout page. This person's already put in their payment information. They already have some things in the cart, but this ABC detox bath salts from somebody, they decided to add it to the cart at the last minute because it's, it's a good price or whatever. They just feel like it's irresistible. They need it. And it's just a one click, it gets added to the cart, and then they can check out. So a really great way to make sure that clients are, making the most out of the experience of your store, right? Your store should be kind of like, you're making all these recommendations along the way. And this is kind of like don't forget to do this. And you can do it, say there's a product that you want to be an order bump for every purchase or every time they go to that cart. That's possible too. So some people do this with their private label or something that they feel like is just super essential for everybody to have. So that is a great option that is in our marketing workbook. We have all the information about that and instructions. So again, we'll send that to you. But those are kind of the highlights that we wanted to include here. Wanted to keep this super short. I know Dr. Tracy usually kind of stops it at this point, so we want to be respectful of your time. Any questions before we wrap up?
I see 2 questions in the chat, Courtney. First one, is there a max number of bundles?
No, there is not, but that's with the caveat that you have a bundle bar, and with any slider on that page, you want to not have too many things sliding. But if you want to have that in your catalog, like totally feel free to put however many bundles you want. But there's no limit at all.
Can I show them the new bundle layout real quick, Cap?
Yeah, of course, please.
So there has been an update to the flex bundles. Before, when you would click open your bundle, it would be the price and then the products would be below with an add to cart underneath. If you guys notice, if you have bundles, there is a new bundle drop down. So you can click all bundles, and this bundle drop down will grow as we add different bundle selections. So as you can see, you do have the ability to upload an image if you want something for like an adrenal reset. If not, what we have done is any of the products that are now in your bundle, if you don't have an image, they will auto-populate. They'll pull in that first hero image in your bundle. So for example, the adrenal reset that I have on my store, if I click on it, that's going to take me into a new view of the bundle page, which now has an image. Also, there'll be products listed underneath, and you can see the product layout here. The additional part of this is that there'll be a carousel of all of the products that are in this adrenal reset, and automatically below it pulls in the description of each of the products that are in here. So it's a really nice experience for your clients now, as they can have a full view of the bundle they're getting. If they have some of these products, they do have the choice to add all of them to cart, or they can just add selected items to cart. So when Courtney was showing you that bundle build form, if you don't have images, or you're not a graphic designer, or if you want to select from our hub, that's possible. I always tell my people to tell someone on that form somewhere which of these products you want to be the hero product, which means if this is an adrenal reset, I maybe don't want SPMs as the product that's going to be pulled into my bundle, right? I'd want that adrenal product or this image that I put up. So like allergy rescue, the sinus spray, that makes a lot of sense. Same thing for candida kill. My candida cleanse has candy kill as the primary. So it kind of gives a clue in. So this is the new layout. If you guys want to take a look at your bundle bar, it's up here. You also still have your bundle bar on your home page, and that works just the same if they click on it, but I just wanted to show you that upgraded feature.
I just actually updated mine. I don't know if you want to show them, but I did something different, which is something that I've seen like other functional medicine practitioners do, where like for the main bundle image, I actually have like show all the products. So that's another option, is like you can find like pull the images of each of the bottles and like on Canva, and then take off the background and then make it into like, show that it's like an actual bundle of various products. Because I think some people are like, what is this? Like, what does this include? People always want to know like what's included. So I think it's so much better now. Like I think it's way more user friendly, and for people who don't have like a funnel page and that's like the main page they're sending it to people to, I think it's very informative and helpful for people to understand. So I really appreciate that you guys updated that.
Thank you. And honestly, when you're savvy like you are and you can build all those things on, Canva, which is awesome, that's exactly the experience we should be giving. I think sometimes practitioners don't have that skill. So it's why we updated the bundle page, just exactly what you said. People want to know what's in it. They want to know what products they're getting. They want to know about the products. So even if you have that image and you submit it, that will always be first, Vanessa, and then the carousel will pop underneath, but exactly like you said. And if you could share a link into the chat for us so that everybody could take a look at what you did, I think that would be really awesome for everybody here. All right, next question.
We have one more, that's for the 15% off for members. Does Get Healthy manage recurring membership payments?
Thank you. That's from Tim.
Yep.
Reoccurring membership payments would only happen, I think, if it goes through an integrated system. So we don't really do subscriptions on memberships per se. So what was that pertaining to, Tim?
I don't know if I'm muted or not, or I'm
No,
allowed to talk.
Yep.
On the Integrate page,
Mhm.
they have like a membership, like discount off supplements with a membership. And I was curious if that was something being managed by Get Healthy somehow, or because we've had a similar thought, but I'm curious how they're making that work.
Yeah, I'll have to go in and see what the experience is, but I can let you know. So I didn't realize they were doing reoccurring memberships like that.
Yeah, I don't know how it's set up, if it's like a one-time thing or if they're taking payment outside of like just at the clinic level, if they're just assigning like persistent discounts to people.
Mhm.
But the challenge with, at least that we've had with membership stuff is, if you taking their discount away once we give it. So like when they stop making membership payments, how do we
Yeah,
have things in place that if it was automated, that would be great. Because we've thought of like Prime type memberships where somebody could just pay, $100 a year and then you always get free shipping and 10% off or something.
right. Yeah, I can check on that for you. There's other applications that I use. The same thing happens to me. I use Circle for my group. If somebody stops paying on Circle, I have no idea. So I have to go into Stripe, run a report, come back to Circle, run a report, and do a comparison. And they just set up a Zapier connection just this year, and I've used it for 3 years. So I think sometimes the communication back and forth is tough, but let me check on what they did over at Integrate, and I can let you know. I just want to share Vanessa's very beautifully done graphics. Very nice, Vanessa. As you can see, her foundations here. And she
great.
was talking about pulling in the product images here, the Active B, the Monopure, the KD3, and the Magglycinate. Again, still seeing the carousel below, but it's her hero image that'll populate first. You're still going to see the breakdown here, and you're still going to get the descriptions. That's very nice, Vanessa. That looks really good.
Thank you.
And-
I'm still
and
trying
a
to
very
finish them, but
affordable price.
if you look at like the grief bundle, that's like the most complete one. And that one also has like various images that help people. It's the purple one.
It's the purple one. Oh, hang on. I'm in the way. That's why I couldn't see it. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's nice. So you have,
A lot of time, but it was worth it.
I bet.
Yeah, it
But
looks
yeah,
great.
if you scroll down, like you'll be able to see other images as well. And I created a PDF protocol. So that's like another way. It just helps people with different learning styles understand to have like types of images.
Mhm.
And then
You got
I
a
don't know if
PDF
you
now,
can
that's
see,
true.
but there's like a PDF that you can open. I don't know why it's not
We need to check
there.
this.
Yeah. It
That could
used to
be
be
my
fine.
computer,
Like
Vanessa. That could be my computer. I don't update all the time.
basically it's just like an image of the support grief protocol, and then you click it and you can download a PDF
Yep, it comes right
which
here.
explains like how this protocol works.
Now this is strategy. See all of those hours we spent together. You're like a marketing guru now. This is, I mean, it is true.
I'm really good at design, but like when it comes to bringing the people, that's the hard part.
It's okay. Hey, you have to start somewhere, right? Okay, so step into patients tab. I'm not sure they managed. Okay, thanks, Candace. So Tim, Candace answered your question a little bit. We'll find out in the background. Well, this has been extremely helpful. The guide looks beautiful. When will people receive it, or how do they get it?
Yeah, we'll send an email to everybody with both of these on Friday, but you guys came, so you'll get it a little bit sooner. So we'll send this out today or tomorrow.
Perfect. All right, guys. Well, thank you. Any closing words for our practitioners?
Just please reach out to us if you have other marketing questions. We want to help you sell. We want to help you market. And so if there's something even just outside the purview of the Get Healthy store, You know, if you're just curious about setting up an email system or scheduling social media and just need information on any of those things, just please reach out to us, and we're happy to answer any questions and set you up for success.
Thank you
Absolutely.
guys so much. This is awesome. It's always exciting to think about like different ways to make things more accessible to people. So I
Yeah.
appreciate you all.
Awesome.
We
Thank you.
appreciate
Answering all my
you.
bajillion questions.
We're here
We
to
like-
help.
We like your emails, Vanessa. All right, guys, you're doing a great job. Thanks for being here. Thanks, marketing team. That was excellent.
Thank you. Have a lovely day,
Thank
everyone.
you. Bye, everyone.